afternoon. How are you guys?
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, we're
really
good.
How about you?
Great. So let's get to it. I'll be asking you a few questions again today to see how you're progressing at home and how you guys are managing with the diabetes. Does that sound good?
Yes, absolutely.
Can you describe how you and your wife have been managing your diabetes care at home? For example, who's responsible for preparing the meals and monitoring your blood sugar levels?
I am the one that verifies my blood sugar levels. I check it once in the morning when I get up. That gives me a better understanding of my fasting blood sugars. And once before my supper to give me a better understanding how I have managed my blood sugar during the day. I keep a record log as well to bring to these appointments to make sure that I'm doing it properly.
I often have to remind him to take his blood sugar before he has his supper, and sometimes it's too late. We already have eaten, so we have to wait a good 2 hours before he can retake his blood sugar. Do you think there would be an easier way for us to have like a reminder on how to take his blood sugar? I am the only one that mostly cooks. We have adapted quite well. We started using less processed meats and more natural protein like chicken and turkey, hard-boiled eggs. We've also been trying to cut back on full-fat dairy. We switched to drinking dairy-free milk and lactose-free yogurt. It's been an adjustment, especially for the kids. They no longer want to drink the milk as they say it doesn't taste the same.
Amazing progress. Great job on tracking the blood sugars. It really does make things easier for us to see where we would need to adjust and know when your sugars are mostly high or low. I see you've taken your diabetes very seriously and have been making it a team effort to adjust your lifestyles. How do you and your husband communicate about his diabetes management and any challenges or concerns that arise?
I'm kind of bad at not telling him what to eat or when to take his blood sugar. I'm kind of always on him about that. It does make him a little upset. Or he says, yes, I know that he needs to do it. I'm only looking out for his best interests, but I don't mean to hover over him. I'm just making sure he follows the diet appropriately. We usually communicate well with each other, but I'll ask if he took his blood sugar, and most of the time he'll thank me for reminding him.
She does get on my nerves sometimes, as I need to learn how to remember to do all these things, and it's been quite a huge adjustment, and sometimes it becomes overwhelming, and I get frustrated by getting told what to do. I don't always want to eat healthy and constantly to be reminded that I have diabetes.
I totally understand both your points. I understand, Karen, you want to make sure Johnny gets on track, just to remain healthy. And I understand, Johnny, you want some freedom in all this. It's a big change in your lives, especially always being on the road for extracurricular activities. Having open communication, though, between the both of you is so key to continue having the appropriate support. Making sure both your opinions are valued is important. Karen, since your husband's diagnosis, has there been any changes in the roles or responsibilities within your household? How have the changes impacted your daily routine?
In terms of our responsibilities and roles in the household, we've adapted really well. The only adjustment I've needed to do was for meal planning, just to make sure that I incorporate everything that is healthy for his meals and our meals. I try to involve the kids as much as possible so they can get used to eating healthy, and ask them when they would like me to pick up from the grocery store so they can also have other healthy choices that they would like. The time we experience real big challenges is when we need to go out of town for these extracurricular activities. We are like so used to going to restaurants and eating out all the time that now trying to think about which restaurant would be appropriate for us. But I also tried to get some snacks and more meals prepared so we don't need to go in restaurants as much as we needed. It's just making it a little more stressful as Johnny doesn't necessarily help, or when he's asked to help, he'll just say, whatever you would like, honey.
Okay, I understand. Karen, you seem to have taken Johnny's diabetes very seriously. That's great. You've done a great job continuing to learn about the meals involving children as well. I believe maybe we should start involving Johnny in these decisions too while preparing the meals, so Johnny can also learn what's best to eat and when to eat it. Maybe having Johnny make the lunches and you concentrate on supper?
Yes. I would be willing to try more and help out more, as I am the one that was diagnosed with diabetes, unfortunately, and I should be more involved to making my diabetes more controlled.
Great. I'll look forward to hearing about that at our next meeting. How are you balancing your work schedules and the need to attend medical appointments and manage your diabetes care? How's that going for you guys?
I'm very lucky. I have a flexible job where I can always get accommodated to make sure I can attend my medical appointments. As my job is flexible, it allows me to be able to care for my diabetes, especially if I'm feeling unwell and need to take my blood sugars. The people I work with, they're all aware of my new diagnosis, which is make things easier. It's harder for my wife as she works a 8 to 4 p.m. job and only really has a lunch break. Once I have started taking more initiative, I will be able to come to these appointments myself.
Amazing. Happy you're open about your diagnosis, and it's important for people around you to know what you're going through. It also helps with having good peer support. All right, last question for the day. How do you and your family communicate about your diabetes management? Are there any concerns or difficulties with the family? Do you have any questions about that?
We're open with the whole family about my diabetes. We do come across some difficulties. Sometimes when my sugar is a little bit higher, like in A's, my wife tends to get nervous about it. The kids, they're very interested in learning about diabetes and wants to make sure they start eating the healthy food and doing exercise to try to prevent from developing diabetes as well. I'm lucky to be surrounded by such amazing, happy family. It's making this diagnosis easier to maintain with all their support.
Okay, sounds like you're on the right track. You've made great progress. And it sounds like you're interested in continuing to want to explore more and get to know as much as you can about this. Of course, you'll come to challenges. If you support each other, you'll get through them together. You'll find compromise. You have a great support system at home and at work, it seems. Making sure you continue to eat well and check your sugar. The sugar is the most important part. Knowing what your number is, it helps you determine everything else. And don't get discouraged by the number. It's just a number. You'll see trends, you'll see what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Some people in the past have added a reminder on their phone to help them remember to check their blood sugar. You'll find what works for you. Also, maybe Johnny with you helping Karen more with the meals, it'll give you a better understanding of what you should be eating. And Karen letting Johnny become more involved will give him more confidence, and you guys will grow together. So, thank you. And we'll see you next time.